Traders, the indices are dropping like stones. The flight to safety pairs are super strong. We've got Forex pairs that are so overbought, so oversold. So what is going on in the markets right now, guys? Well, if you stay till the end of the vid, I'm going to answer this very question. And also, I'm going to give you my trade ideas for today as well. So stay tuned. So guys, to understand what's going on, we need to start with the indices, right? These are a reflection of what is happening in the economy. And this picture perfectly sums up what is going on with the indices. S&P 500, Nasdaq, any of the indices across the world, right? And they have been hitting all-time highs, right? They've never been at these highs before, but the underlying, fundamentals are not strong, right? So this picture, is saying if we're sinking, why are we 200 feet in the air, right? You've got employment figures are good, right? So this is a plus for the economy. There's still stubborn inflation. But the biggest thing for me, guys, and I was chatting to an analyst the other day, is the debt, right? Not just the debt of the nation, like US is in trillions of debt, but household debt, right? It's over 1 trillion, right? So people are still spending. Okay, so consumer spending is good, and therefore that is propping up the economy. But households are borrowing this money to spend. So it's going to get to a point where they have to pay it back. And then that's when the problems start, right? If households stop spending, this is a big problem for businesses and therefore the economy. So it's all about household debt for me. So this could be the big sell-off on the indices on the back of that. All right. Now that's the fundamental view, guys. All right, but you know me by now, guys. I look at the technicals of the chart, right? So let's do exactly that. Okay. So if we look at the S&P, right, you can clearly see that we are breaking down structurally. Okay, complete sell-off. We're getting lower lows, lower highs, right, on the daily chart. Complete downtrend, and the S&P broke this low here. This is actually a trade idea for the day, and we'll look at this in a bit more detail shortly. So also, let's look at the weekly chart, right? And if we just think about the moving average 20 on this weekly chart, okay, we've had a big weekly candle and price generally wants to come back to the moving average 20. All right, so we still have a bit more room with this sell-off. Now, will this sell-off come to here and we bounce back up? Well, then that will be really dependent on all the fundamental data and macroeconomic news that comes out over the coming weeks, right? And we will trade it accordingly. But that household debt, if people stop spending money, we could potentially see more of a sell-off on the indices. Okay. Now, this is having a knock-on effect to all the flight to safety pairs, right? If you look at any yen pair, right, or Swiss franc pair, these are flight to safety pairs. So when the indices are crashing, right, these are strong. Right, these are flight to safety. So you've got the pound and the Swiss franc. Typically, these are the two. Also gold and the US dollar to a certain extent, but pound yen and Swiss franc are super strong. Okay, just look at any yen pair, pound yen. Look at that. Look at that sell-off on the weekly. Look at the day chart. It's just tearing down. Look at any yen pair, New Zealand yen. Look at that. And also worth pointing out at this point, guys, Aussie dollar and New Zealand dollar are so weak, right? These are so weak. Again, let's just look at any New Zealand pair. Look at pound New Zealand dollar. So pound is not even a flight to safety pair, but look at that. Look how weak Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar pairs are, right? But let's focus on the flight to safety. So yen pairs super strong. If we look at any Swiss franc pair, look at the sell-off we're getting. right? Euro Swiss franc. Let's have a look at Canadian dollar Swiss franc, right? Just super bearish with the flight to safety pairs, right? Yen and Swiss franc. Now, knowing all of this, guys, right, it's given us some trade ideas, okay? So let's focus on the trade ideas now, but I just wanted you to understand, you know, what's happening in the markets. And just one more thing to mention as well is, you know, even if you're not trading flight to safety pairs, right? This is Euro Aussie dollar. This is just untradeable at the moment, right? Look at that uptrend. Right now, an important thing to know here is I don't like markets like this, right? Because for me, that is impossible to get into. There is no retrace. It's just shut off, right? You look at any, I mean, let's look at pound Aussie dollar. Look at that. Yeah, pound New Zealand dollar, right? These types of trend, super aggressive, are just so difficult to trade, right? If we get trend like that, I can't really trade it. If we get a trend like this is easy to trade. Can trade this all day, okay? Because all you do is just keep buying the pullback, right? You get a retrace, we get value, you buy the pullback, yeah, and we keep buying trend, okay? Easy to trade, yeah? This type of trend, not easy to trade. There's no pullback to value so that you can get in. So crazy markets at the moment, guys, right? All the things that I've just shown you there, yeah, just crazy markets. And it, you know, it hasn't lent itself to a lot of trade ideas, but we've got a few trades we're looking at today. And let's go back to the S&P because I am looking at this as a potential short idea. Okay, so my first trade idea is S&P. Okay, and then you can see, as we alluded to earlier, we're in a downtrend, right? Lower lows, lower highs. We're clearly in a downtrend. And I really like the fact that we broke this low. Okay. And we've still got a little bit of room to move into back to the next area of support, right? There's a few candles here. Okay, so that's the trade idea. The problem with this is, will it retrace? Right, that is a super bearish candle, right? So what I'm looking for, if we go to the H4 now, I just want to see a bit of a retrace, right? This is shooting down. I just want to see a retrace, you know, even if just the moving average 20 catches up, even here, I would consider selling because it's such a bearish candle. You know, it's unlikely to retrace up to here, you know, and a nice gray zone. So I need a bit of a retrace, perhaps just to the moving average 20, if this catches up, and then I'll look to sell the S&P. If it just shoots off, guys, as I said, I can't trade it. There's no value in trading that. Okay, so S&P is the first trade idea. And then we're also looking at a couple of Swiss franc pairs. Now, some of the Swiss franc pairs are impossible to trade, right? Let's have a look at New Zealand Swiss franc. Right, if we go to the day chart, again, there's just no value down here. Yeah, start selling here, there's no value. Right? We're so oversold, okay? And we know flight to safeties are very strong and New Zealand dollar and Aussie dollar are very weak, right? So this makes for no trade. But if we look at Canadian dollar Swiss franc, this is less oversold, right? I mean, it's still oversold, but we have a bit of room to move into. So let's start with the weekly chart here. So just to understand, right, we are clearly in a weekly downtrend. Okay, we've broke through this last low. So it makes sense just to take price back down to this 6,350 psychological level and these last lows. All right, so weekly's in a downtrend. We've also got the day chart, which broke this important support level. Yeah, we can see price was holding here, but then yesterday we broke that low. Okay, we're clearly in a downtrend You don't need to be Warren Buffett to know that. Okay, so this is where we're at. Now we just want to retrace, right? If we go to the H4, again, if price retraces into this grey zone, great. Yeah, that's a really nice level. Moving average 20 catches up, we get a bearish reaction. Yeah, we can start selling. Okay, but again, because of those candles being so bearish on the daily chart, I would consider a H1 trade, right? You can clearly see, yeah, we're in a H1 downtrend. Even if price retraced just to the moving average 20, we could consider sells in here as well. All right. I also like Euro Swiss franc. Okay, so for the day chart, I mean, again, it's still quite oversold, but not super oversold like some of the other Swiss franc pairs. If we start with the weekly chart, yeah, you know, sometimes when you get such crazy moves as we're experiencing, right? We've been discussing how crazy the markets are. Then just come out and look at the bigger picture. Everything is a little bit calmer and less noisy, right? Because if you look at Euro Swiss franc, right? Let me draw that line again. Been drinking, guys. Yeah, if we look at Euro Swiss franc, it's clearly in a downtrend on the weekly chart, and we've got room to move into, right? Lower highs, lower lows, right? We're in a downtrend. We're below the moving average 20 as well. So if you look at that, guys, it's quite a straightforward trade, right? We just take price back down to these lows, right? If we go to the day chart now, again, we're in a downtrend, right? And we had a super bearish candle yesterday, right? That broke these lows. Okay, so that's a continuation of trend, and we've got room to move into. Again, the biggest problem is going to be, will we get a retrace? If price just carries on and shoots off, I don't have a trade, right? Simple as that. But if price retraces, maybe the moving average 20 catches up, right? I would consider taking sells from here because of that bearish daily candle, all right? But ideally, you know, if price could retrace back up to this grey zone, that would be great as well, okay? But yeah, looking to sell Euro Swiss franc. And then finally, I just got in this trade actually. I'm looking at Euro Pound, right? And before I show you Euro Pound, guys, if you enjoy my daily analysis, then please come join the channel. Yeah, subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button and smash the like button. Also, guys, if you would like to join our trading community where you can speak to traders, share ideas and knowledge, then please come join our free Discord channel. If you would like more than that and you would like my trade signals, you would like access to all of my strategies and tutorials and access to me where you can ask me questions, then please join our VIP Trading Academy. And finally, guys, if you sign up with one of our preferred brokers, you can get access to these things and discounted. All right, check it all out. It's all in the video description. And don't forget to join me for the live stream today, 8 a.m. New York EST time. Right, last trade, Euro Pound. Yeah, so there's the H4. If we look at the daily, right, again, we are in a downtrend. Okay, we've been in a downtrend since here. Price has retraced, right, and we are still in a downtrend. Okay, I think we've got a little bit more room to go back down to these daily lows. We didn't quite reach them yesterday. And, you know, we got a nice bearish candle that formed yesterday. Okay, so the idea is just to, we've got a nice retrace already. It's just to take it back down to these lows. So that's the day chart. If we look at the weekly chart, yeah, I mean, there's still potentially a bit more room to come lower, right? Yeah, we've got area here, even down to here, guys, all right? So yeah, we're looking for sells. If we drop to the H4, you can clearly see why I've taken this trade, okay? H4, right? It was in an uptrend at this point, and now it's broken down. So we are in a H4 downtrend. You can see this trend line, okay? And this is just such a nice area in here. right? So I've just entered. I've started selling at this level, and I'm looking to take price, potentially down to these lows, if not a bit further, right? Why is this such a nice level? Well, you can see, guys, we've got a trend line, right, which is resistance. We've got this level through here that was support and is now potentially resistance, right? And we've got the moving average 20 coming round, which is also dynamic resistance, right? We have triple whammy resistance in here, okay? And then we just want to take it back down to these lows, if not further. I am in this trade. All right, guys. So yeah, crazy markets. There's my trade ideas. Please come subscribe to the channel and smash that like button. Check out all the promos we've got running at the moment. And I'll see you later for the live stream. All right. See you later, guys.